Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive. And today we're shifting gears a little bit. Usually we're digging into some pretty heavy research, but this time we're taking a deep dive into a psychological thriller novel called The Housemaid by Freida McFadden.
Ooh, I love a good thriller, especially when it's set in like an everyday setting, you know? It just makes it that much creepier.
Right. Like you think you're safe in your own home, and then bam, the author throws in a twist that totally flips the script.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today. Like, what makes The Housemaid so gripping? We've got some excerpts here that really highlight the suspense without giving away too much. We don't want to spoil the fun.
Exactly. We'll just give you a little taste so you can decide if it's something you want to add to your reading list.
Okay, so the story starts with our main character, Millie. She's living out of her car,
Yeah.
desperate for work, and she comes across this job as a live-in housemaid for this crazy wealthy family, the Winchesters.
Yeah. Talk about a contrast in lifestyles, right? I mean, on one hand, you have Millie struggling to make ends meet, and on the other, you have the Winchesters living in this massive mansion with a home theater and photos everywhere of them with like jet setting around the world.
Yeah. The book really paints a vivid picture of that opulence. I mean, you can practically feel the difference between Millie's world and the world she's stepping into.
And to make things even more complicated, Millie has this secret. She's an ex-con, and she's terrified of someone finding out about her past.
Yeah, there's this one excerpt where she's freaking out about a potential background check. It's like she knows she's taking a huge risk.
It makes you wonder, right? Like, why would she take the job knowing her secret could be exposed? Is it purely desperation? Or is there something more drawing her to the Winchesters?
Yeah, that's a question that keeps you hooked from the very beginning. Like, is she running from something? Or
Mhm.
maybe she sees this job as a chance to, like, reinvent herself, start fresh.
It definitely adds a layer of mystery to her character.
Okay, so we've got Millie the housemaid with a secret. But then there's the woman of the house, Nina Winchester. She's described as this impeccably dressed woman, always concerned with appearances. But there are these subtle hints that something darker is going on beneath the surface.
Oh, yeah. There are definitely red flags that start popping up right away, like
What?
the locked attic room,
Uh-huh.
her obsession with organic cleaning supplies, the way she reacts when her husband compliments Millie's cooking. It's all very unsettling.
Yeah, you get this feeling that Nina is not who she appears to be. And then there are these rumors from her friends suggesting that she might be mentally unstable, that she even spent time in a mental institution. It makes you question whether we can trust her perceptions of Millie, or if there's another side to the story we haven't seen yet.
That's what I love about psychological thrillers. They play with your perceptions. You never know who to believe. The author's so good at creating these unreliable narrators that keep you guessing.
Okay, so we've got Millie, the housemaid with a secret, and Nina, the enigmatic employer with a potentially troubled past. But then there's the husband, Andrew Winchester. He seems charming, kind, even a bit out of place next to his controlling wife. He's quick to compliment Millie and seems genuinely concerned for her well-being.
Which is a stark contrast to how he interacts with Nina, right? It makes you wonder about the dynamics of their marriage and whether Andrew's kindness towards Millie is genuine or if it's stemming from something he's lacking in his relationship with his wife.
And this is where it gets really interesting. The excerpts reveal that their daughter, Cecilia, isn't actually Andrew's biological child. And we even learn that he and Nina are struggling to conceive.
Wow. So there's definitely some tension there.
Right. It makes you think about how much this is impacting their marriage and how it might be influencing Andrew's actions.
Yeah. Is he looking for a connection he's missing with Nina? Or is there something more, like a dangerous love triangle forming?
Oh, man, I didn't even think about that.
The author cleverly plants these seeds of doubt, making you question the motivations of every character. And then we have Enzo the landscaper, who seems to be the only one truly aware of the danger swirling around Millie. He keeps warning her to get out while she can, but he's shrouded in secrecy, almost as if he's afraid to speak openly about what he knows.
It's like he's seen something truly disturbing, something that makes him fear for Millie's safety, but something is holding him back. Maybe loyalty to the family, or maybe fear for his own safety.
Right, it leaves you wondering, what has Enzo witnessed? And what's preventing him from telling Millie the whole truth?
All these unanswered questions and simmering tensions really ramp up the suspense. You can feel something bad is about to happen. You just don't know what or who will be involved.
The author is a master at dropping these little hints and unsettling moments that make you feel like you're holding your breath, waiting for the other shoe to drop. It's like the calm before the storm.
Exactly. And as the story progresses, you start to see how Nina's behavior goes beyond just being eccentric.
Yeah.
The excerpts show her becoming increasingly suspicious and hostile towards Millie. She scrutinizes her every move, criticizes her appearance, and even accuses her of stealing things.
It's like she's intentionally trying to make Millie feel unstable and question her own sanity.
You know, it's interesting you bring that up. The excerpts mention a scene where Nina loses some important papers and immediately blames Millie, even though Millie knows she had nothing to do with it.
Exactly. And that locked attic room becomes a symbol of this power imbalance. It's described as this unsettling, almost claustrophobic space with scratch marks on the door, hinting at something sinister. It makes you wonder who else Nina might have trapped there and what secrets that room holds.
Okay, so we've got Millie trapped in this increasingly unsettling situation with Nina. But let's circle back to Andrew for a moment. We talk about his kindness towards Millie, but as the story unfolds, you start to see a different side of him emerge.
Right. His character is full of contradictions. One moment he's charming and attentive, the next he's distant and troubled. It makes you question whether his compliments to Millie are genuine or if they're a way of subtly undermining Nina and exerting his own form of control.
And when you consider the revelations about Cecilia not being his biological daughter and their struggles to conceive, it adds another layer of complexity to his actions. It's like he's caught between his attraction to Millie and his complicated relationship with Nina.
Absolutely. And remember, we're only seeing things from Millie's perspective at this point. What if Andrew is playing a much deeper game than we initially realize? What if his charm is just a facade? These are the kinds of questions that keep you glued to the pages.
And then there's Enzo, the landscaper, who keeps popping up with these cryptic warnings. He clearly knows something is wrong, but he seems reluctant or afraid to reveal the full truth.
His presence adds this constant undercurrent of unease. Is he protecting Millie? Or is he bound by some loyalty to the Winchesters? It's as if he's trying to guide Millie without directly revealing what he knows, which honestly just makes the situation even more unsettling.
It's like he's saying, trust your instincts, there's danger here, but he can't explicitly tell her why.
Exactly. And that tension, that feeling of walking on eggshells, permeates the entire story. It's as if every interaction, every seemingly innocent detail could be hiding a dark secret.
And what about Millie? What do the excerpts tell us about how she's coping with all of this?
Well, you can see her starting to realize the extent of Nina's control. She feels increasingly isolated and trapped, both physically and emotionally. But there's also a glimmer of defiance, a sense that she won't be a victim. The question is, will she find the strength to break free before it's too late?
It sounds like the author is really skilled at creating this sense of impending doom, making you feel like you're holding your breath, waiting for the other shoe to drop.
And that's the genius of it. The excerpts leave you with this feeling of unease, this knowledge that something terrible is about to happen, but you're not quite sure what or who will be involved. And that, my friend, is what makes you want to keep reading.
Okay, so we've talked about the unsettling atmosphere, the complex characters, and those lingering questions that just keep you guessing. But there's one more element in The Housemaid that we haven't even touched on yet.
Yeah, and that's where things get really interesting. Like, the excerpts reveal that the story isn't just told from Millie's perspective.
Really? So we get to hear from someone else's point of view.
Exactly. We also get glimpses into Nina's mind, you know?
Yeah.
Her thoughts, her motivations, and let me tell you, it changes everything.
Whoa, okay. I did not see that coming.
Yeah.
So we're not just dealing with like an unreliable narrator. We're getting multiple perspectives.
Exactly. And what's so fascinating is that Nina's narrative reveals that she's not just this eccentric, controlling woman. She's a survivor. We learn about her past, you know, the years of manipulation and abuse she endured at the hands of her husband, Andrew.
Hold on. So Andrew isn't this seemingly nice guy we thought he was.
Well, as Nina's story unfolds, we start to see Andrew's true colors. He's not just controlling. He's straight up manipulative and abusive, using gaslighting and isolation to maintain power over Nina.
Wow. It's like we're peeling back the layers of an onion and finding something really dark at the core.
Right, and it makes you question everything you thought you knew about their marriage, and even about Millie's perception of Andrew.
So how does it all play out? I mean, without giving away any spoilers, of course.
Let's just say the story takes some crazy twists and turns. Loyalties are tested, secrets are exposed, and the lines between victim and perpetrator become super blurred. The tension just keeps building and building until it reaches this explosive climax.
Okay, you've definitely piqued my interest. The Housemaid is officially at the top of my reading list. It sounds like the kind of book that will keep you up all night.
Absolutely. And even after you finish it, you'll be thinking about the characters and the moral dilemmas they present. It's a story that really sticks with you.
So for all you thriller fans out there, if you're looking for a book that will mess with your mind, keep you guessing till the very end, and leave you with a whole lot to think about, then The Housemaid is a must-read.
It's a chilling exploration of the dark side of human nature and the things people are capable of when pushed to their limits.
And it's a reminder that sometimes the most unsettling stories are the ones that take place in the most ordinary settings, behind closed doors, where secrets can fester and darkness can thrive.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? Like about the facades people put up
Yeah.
and the secrets they hide behind closed doors.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it makes you wonder how well you really know the people in your own life.
Yeah.
Like, what are they hiding?
Right. It's like that saying, everyone has a skeleton in their closet.
Okay, so we've talked about the unsettling atmosphere, the complex characters, and those lingering questions that keep you guessing. But there's one thing we haven't touched on yet, and that's Millie's backstory. What can you tell us about her past?
Well, the excerpts don't delve too deeply into her past, but we do get hints that she's been through a lot, you know? There's a sense of vulnerability about her, like she's carrying a lot of pain.
Yeah, I got that sense too. It's like she's trying to escape something, or maybe even atone for something she did in the past.
Exactly, and that adds another layer of complexity to her character. Like, is she seeking redemption, or is she just trying to survive?
It's like her past is this shadow looming over her, threatening to drag her back into the darkness.
And that darkness becomes even more palpable when you consider the setting, the Winchester mansion. It's described as this grand, imposing structure, almost like a character itself.
Yeah, it's definitely more than just a backdrop. It's like this oppressive presence that reflects the secrets and the tension brewing within its walls.
It's almost gothic, you
Yeah.
know? Like a haunted house, full of hidden passages and whispered rumors.
And that's what makes The Housemaid so compelling. It blends these elements of psychological suspense with classic Gothic tropes, creating this chilling and unforgettable reading experience.
Exactly. It's a story that will stay with you long after you turn the final page, making you question everything you thought you knew about the people around you and the secrets they might be hiding.
So if you're looking for a book that will keep you up all night, a story that will delve into the darkest corners of the human psyche, then The Housemaid is definitely worth checking out.
It's a reminder that appearances can be deceiving, and that sometimes the most dangerous threats lurk in the most unexpected places.
Well said. And on that note, we'll leave you with this question to ponder. What would you do if you found yourself trapped in a situation like Millie's? Would you fight back? Or would you succumb to the darkness?
Ooh, that's a good one. Definitely something to think about.
Until next time,
Cool.
happy reading.